David, Korean American, graduated from Columbia University with an economics degree and an MBA. He has over 30 years of experience in the global financial industry. In 2016, he made a personal private investment in food and the beverage business in China. Since early 2017, he moved to Hainan to run the Chimac restaurant and a pub.
David, you moved to Hainan in 2017. Can you tell us why you make this decision?
Seems like yesterday, but it's already been 2.5 years. It was not an easy decision. I left my family back in New York. I came here by myself to run and expand the Chimac business. I wanted to come and establish a brand and do it here in Hainan so that we could be ready when the rest of China starts to consume more Western food.
And it's like a dining hall for the foreigners in Hainan.
Yeah, many people sort of find this place very comfortable. So when they come here, they sometimes hang out all afternoon, just eating and drinking and talking.
This is the new platter today, this beast. This is my favorite dish, the Moby steak sandwich. Look at the size of that.
So one of my favorite dishes here, pasta-wise, is this right here. It's like a rosé sauce, David, and a little bit of rosé sauce, super rich, bunch of really good steak in there. I like it.
Whenever we develop a new menu, I eat the same thing for about 2 weeks in a row to make adjustments. I find myself eating maybe 80%, 90% of the time in the restaurant, the food that we serve to our customers. And also it is our rule that whenever we have a new staff in the kitchen, before his food can go out to customers, I have to taste his cooking to make sure it's up to the standard. So I usually eat here twice a day, but there are times when I do venture out and meet with friends to have local food.
Do you like the local food here?
Local food, wanchanji, the chicken, that's very famous in Hainan. I had that before. I've had some Hainanese noodles. That was interesting. Whenever I get a chance, I try to eat local food.
So do you get any inspirations from the local food? Will you consider about adding the elements
Sure.
of the local food into the Western style food?
So it's a concept of fusion food, right? I try to incorporate local ingredients into our cooking as well. I really believe that if I'm making food here, I need to use only the ingredients that I find locally to make the food to ensure freshness. So one of the basic ingredients in our cooking, not just in Western cooking, but in all cooking, is salt. So it was very important to me that salt we use has a really good flavor. So when I first got to Hainan, one of the things that I did was ask the kitchen staff to go out and buy all the salt they could find. And they came back with 20 different salt. And then one day, believe it or not, we all sat around and tasted 20 different kinds of salt. So what we finally ended up doing is taking one type of salt and we process it here to refine it further and to have a very soft saltiness. And that's the salt that we use here in all our food. And it forms a base for all the dishes that we're preparing here. And trying to stay true to the authentic Western cooking. We make our own bread here. We make all our sauces here. Even the hamburger patty and all the sausages, we make it in our restaurant just to ensure quality as well as fresh.
So how do you communicate with your staff members here?
Because my Chinese is very limited, I was very fortunate enough to find some English majors who are working at Chimac now, and they helped me to communicate to the rest of the staff, and they also helped me to conduct my work in Haikou as well.
And we also know that you are very interested in various projects involving education and underprivileged children.
Right.
Yeah, can you share with us some stories?
Sure. One of the things that I really do believe in is that companies, as well as individuals, should do more for their community and for the future generation. In Hainan, so far, I have made donations, but I have not really embraced a particular project and called it my own project. We have many young people, altogether around 25 young people from Hainan that are working in my company, and I always see them as sort of my children or part of my family in China. And this one particular young man who joined us for this Gomao store, his name is Aja, and he has been with us since November, and he has a handicap, and he can't speak and he can't hear. So when we hired him, I had a meeting with the rest of the staff in the company, and I told them there will be another person joining our company, and he will be very similar to me. He can't speak Chinese and he can't understand Chinese. But unlike me, he could write and read Chinese. And so that's how we introduced him to the rest of the company. He has been very productive, and he has incorporated himself really well into the company, and everybody, not just me, but everybody at the company has adjusted well to him. My big plan is to develop this Western-style restaurant and Western-style service and take this brand and go to the mainland. So it'll be foreign investment made Western cuisine that's developed in Hainan being exported to the mainland. I think it's a little bit of a neat and cool concept, because usually it's the mainland products and franchises that are coming to Hainan. So it'll be a very unique situation for us to make the brand here and make the software in Hainan and then export it to the mainland. It'll be a unique experience. So I hope everybody in Hainan cheers for us. This is Hainan. Wo ai Hainan.